There's something going on in our community. Let's talk about it. My name is Ariel, and I'm starting this podcast to start community conversations about things going on in the community that we need to correct. So, there's something going on. I'm using this as an example, but it fits to a bigger problem. Even though these are individuals, it goes to a bigger problem that continues to happen. Why women choose men over children. Um, and I say that because oftentimes in situations, because we're lacking so much love, we will feed into somebody that gives us just a little bit, even at the detriment of the child or children in the situation. So recently, Amy came out. Amy, I forgot her last name, but she was on Love and Hip Hop, came out to talk about Dwight Howard and some issues that they were having.
Very dangerous position. My stepdaughter was just taken by CPS because of her father. CPS and the police have been here 3 times in less than 3 months, and I stood in it with my husband, even though I was scared for my own self. Whatever he wanted me to say, whatever it was, I'm thinking this is my husband. I had everybody around me saying, even after I tried to divorce him the first time, everybody around me says, you can't leave your husband this soon. You said through sickness, through health, through this, you said through good or bad. That's why I came back, but this is going way too far. But it's not even about me, it's about the kids. The stuff that I have to go through with the kids, I have to be witnesses to. I'm at the police at the house. They ask me questions. I don't know how do I lie for my husband. I've never been married before. I'm in love with my husband. I don't want him to get in trouble. So of course I'll be his alibi, but this is going way too far. And now I'm getting mixed all in this.
So in that clip, she's talking about how she felt the need to protect her husband because she's never been married before, and that's what a woman is supposed to do, protect her husband. But even at the detriment of children, she also had said that she was witnessing things being done to children. Now, what the things are, we don't know. If it's even true or not, we don't know. But these are the things that she's saying. And I see this pattern of not all women, but this is just the issue that we need to speak to at this moment in time. We're in these situations with these men, and we want to pour love into these men, even if our children are in danger. You see, sometimes it happens with mothers who know that their children are being assaulted by the men in the house, by a stepfather, by a biological father, and nothing is done, and they continue to stay with that man. That's the danger of this type of mindset. And we often ignore the red flags in order to not even be in the situation in the first place. And that's what this next clip is going to show when his first kid's mother did a interview with Cam Newton. And she goes on to speak about a few things that are severe red flags.
Because from the videos that I saw on TikTok, and I quote or might misquote, but it was something on the lines where you mentioned there were sexual acts that he wanted you to participate in and said you didn't feel comfortable, but you still did it anyway.
Yeah.
Do you care to?
That was when we first started, like, having sex. Like, when we first met, like, when we first started, like, dating, and we finally started having sex. You know, I'm like, he's, like, green, just like I am, but, you know, this is something he wants to try, and I'm like, maybe this is how you explore sex. And so it was... I didn't like it, but, you know, he would like my finger.
Ay.
I've never liked that.
So the first red flag that she goes to speak about is the fact that she felt uncomfortable with some of the sexual acts that he wanted to perform. That is a huge red flag that women don't understand. And it's because I feel like we're taught through society that a woman pleases her man. Even if a woman doesn't want to have sex, she should go ahead and have sex anyway because he wants it, and you want to keep your partner happy. And we know that in Christianity, a lot of Bible verses that are quoted are the ones that you and your husband are of one body, and that you are not to deny him. Those are the types of mindsets that are really harmful and that can lead to other things. It is a red flag if you do not want to partake in doing a sexual act or having sex at all, and it causes agitation in the male. Not only that, if you are not wanting to have sex and they want to have sex with you anyway, and when you're finally like, oh, okay, just fine, and then they continue to proceed to have sex with you, that is a huge red flag. No person should want to even engage in something, especially of a sexual nature, when somebody was unwilling to do it in the first place. When somebody is going to give you sex and kind of like a scoff, like, ugh, fine, just take it. Why would you want to take it?
I just keep seeing him playing with his Chuggington toys, and I just keep thinking about this man that is just asking me for something that I don't want to do. But I also remember what he did before. And I'm trying to just tell him, like, you know, when you bring him back. I did say that. I said, when you bring him back.
Who is him?
Braylon, because he was coming to pick Braylon up. So I'm like, when you bring him back. And that wasn't good enough. So he then comes and he closes the door and he walks me over to the bed, and I step backwards because now I'm by my chest because I don't feel like doing this. And I'm not like, oh, like this. I'm just walking back like I just said no. And he's like, man, come on, you know what I'm talking about? Come on, you can do something. And I'm like, no. And he's pushing you down on your head. And at first you think he's playing, and you like, well, not, you don't, you know he's not playing, but you try and push him off of you and be like, man, stop, so you can just walk away. And he don't let you stop. You push him and he pulls you, and you try and push him again, and he throws you on the ground. And now you're like in front of your dresser and you're crying. And now because you're crying, you can't actually give head now because you're crying. You're too emotional. So you just slam your waist into my face. That's what you do? Over and over and over again? For what? Because you that pissed off that I can't give you head for real? And then you just walk out, pick our son up, leave the house.
So this next clip was disturbing. Um, for many reasons, obviously, she goes to explain how she didn't want to have relations, how he leads her in the room, throws her, and then when she's on the floor crying, sobbing, he's thrusting towards her face. Very terrible. It's very awful. However, the most disturbing part for me, because oftentimes I'm always very empathetic and looking for what's happening to the woman, but the first priority is always the child for me. So him picking up the child and taking the child because it was his day is disturbing. Any type of sexual aggression or sexual anger can be redirected towards anybody, and in my opinion, it can also be redirected towards children eventually. So if you are a woman, you're ever in these situations where a man has shown any type of sexual aggression towards you, you need to get yourself out of that situation. But most importantly, you need to get your child out of that situation, because with child predators, it's not just about a sexual attraction to children. With a lot of them, it's about the dominance over children, the fact that a child can't say no. A lot of predators like children because they are dominant over them. It's about the dominance for them. So if a man will be dominant and likes to take out his aggression towards a woman sexually, it is not too crazy to think that he would eventually take out his aggression towards a child. Again, that goes in all cases. I'm not just using this example to speak about this situation directly. I'm talking about in your own personal life. If a man is sexually aggressive towards you, you keep yourself and most importantly, your children far away from that man.
Like, what about the conversation, or what about what you witnessed was the question?
I walked in on the G-spot part.
So you just heard G-spot. That's all you heard.
Well, the whole sentence, like, you know, your G-spot is in your anus. Like, that's what I walked in on. And I immediately went off. But as I'm going off, other things are being said. Like, it's nothing wrong with telling him that. Do you know what I was doing? You know, like all these other stories coming out. Like, this is how men talk. Like, you've been babying him. He had you his whole life. You know what I'm saying? I was a single mom. You know, like, hey, I guess this is what he's missing.
To teach a young boy his pleasure point is in his anus. Where would that be beneficial to him? The red flag about this is that no adult man or woman should be teaching a child about their pleasure points. That can be considered to some grooming, not saying that he was grooming his child, but it is a red flag to look out for that you should just stay away from, especially if you are a single mother. If you're a single mother, well, all women, but if you are a single mother and you are dating and you are looking to look for a stepfather or a father figure for your children, if a man is trying to teach young children, especially 12, about their pleasure centers, that is a huge red flag and you should steer clear from them, especially the pleasure center being in the anus. I go back to that point because at 12 years old, being heterosexual or homosexual really shouldn't be a thought. You have attraction at that age, but you shouldn't be participating in sex. That's why it's heterosexual or homosexual. It's a sexual attraction. You should not be sexually even engaging with people at that age, male or female, whether you're heterosexual or homosexual. 12 years old is way too young. So the fact that he was teaching that, out of all places, that to be the pleasure center, because in order to reach that pleasure center, you'd have to be penetrated. You should, why would a man want to teach their children penetration at that age, male or female? That is a huge red flag that women need to look out for. Anything that you feel uncomfortable about, yes, people around you may start talking and make you feel insecure about your thoughts, but you as a woman need to be a woman. And you need to know, no, this is uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable. And what I said is what I said. Women need to practice more confidence, especially when they come into spaces where men are present. Sometimes women start to lose their footing a little bit when they get around men, and men are authoritative and they're saying their piece, and then you start feeling small. As a grown woman, you need to be direct and you need to be confident in all of your decisions, especially when it comes to children, because you are a woman who is grown and that is a child who is not. The child has little autonomy. The child is told what to do. You protect the child. That is your job as a woman, is to always protect your child and your children first. So you cannot lose confidence in things that you find uncomfortable just because a man is saying something about it.
Did you ever feel uncomfortable with your son being alone with his dad?
Yeah, especially when he was younger.
And did you do anything?
Yeah, that was when the nanny was molesting him.
What?
Yeah. Yep. They sent the court papers and everything. I got messages. I posted receipts. Yep. And I even posted a video of my son even talking about her and how he didn't like her. He's a little baby. Yep. But even in email, you know, he liked her. He trusted her. And I had been complaining about her for like years. And then the judge told me if I ever made a claim like that again, that he would absolutely give Dwight 100% custody, and that I need to shut my mouth, that I was a gold digger. It's all in the docket.
Now, this part is something that some women disregard as well, thinking that a woman cannot harm a child, but it is very real that a woman can sexually abuse a child. And this goes back to that confidence aspect of women trusting their intuition. People in general, really women and men, but I'm speaking to women because I'm a woman and I am a single mother, so I understand a little bit of both sides. And I'm trying to make sure that I speak directly to me, the direct link to the child. So when your intuition is telling you that this person is not good, you have to trust that. If there is a woman in this situation, you're like, I shouldn't trust my child around that woman. You need to trust that intuition, even if it's a friend. If you have friends around you and they're very promiscuous, they should not be watching your male sons. You know, you shouldn't just have anybody watching your children thinking that, well, this is a woman, she won't do anything. Women can sexually abuse children too. And it's a very real thing. It may not be as common as men sexually abusing children, but it still happens and it's still something to be aware of.
People who say that I would never go back. And I did twice. And when people ask, like, you know, oh, at this point it's your fault. When you have been so mind fucked to thinking that you're worthless, that nobody will want you, that you ruined baby Superman, baby Jesus. You start to believe that stuff. So any little inkling of like joy, you take it.
And now it all comes full circle. I'm glad that she admitted to this, but this is a very real thing. As far as women staying with men and protecting men over children, it's not really about the man as much as it's about their own selfishness. I want to feel a little bit of joy. You provide that, so I'll keep you. I'll keep you next to me, even at the detriment of the children. I will keep you around me, even if it harms the children that are in this situation as well. Amy said that she wanted to stand by her husband, and that goes back to that aspect of just wanting joy for yourself. A lot of women are with men that are a detriment to their household and to their children, but they stay with them just so that they can experience some type of happiness. Maybe you're depressed, maybe you're going through a lot, and this might sound very harsh, but if children are in harm's way, it it doesn't, this is going to sound harsh, but it doesn't matter about your joy. It doesn't matter about your happiness because you are an adult. You can find many other avenues of happiness, but you're choosing the most destructive one at the demise of the children involved. And that's something that we need to recognize. Are you staying with somebody because they're truly a good person? Or are you staying with them because to leave them at this moment would hurt you? And by hurting you, you'll keep it going even if it hurts the children. So, in conclusion, this really goes down to, as women, we cannot prioritize protecting men over children. It's not just men who protect and provide. Women as well, their priority is to protect the children in the household, to protect their children and protect other children. It doesn't matter if you birth them or not. If you see a child in harm's way, your responsibility as a grown adult woman is to protect the children. You cannot be coddled in every way because you have more bodily autonomy than a child does. So you need to cover them. You need to cover yourself as well, but you especially need to cover the children involved. If you like what we're talking about here, you can go ahead and like and subscribe, as well as you can follow my nonprofit at oneunityrising.org. One Unity Rising is my nonprofit to recreate Black Wall Street and start rebuilding community so that we can start limiting the issues that we are seeing. You can also pick up my children's book, One Light, Many Names. This is Ancient Kemet, as well as Ancient Sumerian. And these are children's books to start teaching our children about different spiritual systems across the world. The link will be in the description, and part of the proceeds do go directly to my nonprofit. If you would like to support me personally, you can donate at Arielbirdsongtv on Cash App. Look, we're at a crossroads as a community, and we need to decide which path we're going down. Are we going to continue to not prioritize our children and watch the destruction of our community for generations to come? Or are we going to finally start making the steps to start to look at our children as the future that they are?